Hi guys, this is Yannick Goldeneye here in my studio, and this is a little, well, special video because this is mainly going to be about talking about stuff, because I don't usually do that. I opened this channel and I kind of do this channel to entertain you, hopefully, and to present some music stuff that I do. And usually I don't do these rambling videos where I just, talk about things. But this week is going to be the release of my 10th album, believe it or not, and I just thought, maybe looking back a little bit, I think it's appropriate to look back because the 10th album, I think it's quite something. And I just thought, I want to share some thoughts of the past, I would say 10, 12, 11 years where I did some music, and the various stages and various problems and highlights that I've encountered, and that's going to be the video about it. So if you're not interested in that, I'm sorry, and you better just turn off the video, to be honest, because like I said, it's not going to be music, it's just going to be rambling a bit about the past. Now, as you may be aware, I started to play the piano when I was about 8, 9 years old, and I pretty constantly kept playing it until today, with some breaks, and coming back and leaving it again. And I started to composing roughly about 12, 13, 14 years ago, but I just think you can only count the last 6, 7 years where it was really something that you could really take seriously, where I actually did something. Goldeneye Source, of course, being the first project, as I said in some videos before. And man, when I look back, the start was really kind of heavy, because when I started to kind of get into those James Bond projects, especially when I got into the rescore projects, Goldeneye, Never Say Never Again, The Spy Who Loved Me, man, there was so much hatred coming from the internet. I never addressed that publicly because I just think, it's part of it. The internet, I'm quite often, and I spend a lot of time on YouTube and Facebook, Twitter, and social media and so on. And man, there's so much. I'm always baffled and kind of sometimes even devastated how much hatred there's in the internet, and especially toward people who create something and people who do something, mostly coming from people who just sit around and they spend days just arguing and just making other people's creations bad. And I just think that's, and I was a victim of that stuff too. And sometimes it really got to me, and sometimes I was just like, nah, you know what, just don't care. It's the internet. It's the normal thing going on. But I never wanted to address it because I thought it was kind of obvious, but other times I thought, well, maybe it isn't obvious. The reason why I got into all these rescore things, I had even close friends who told me, why would you do that? Why would you rescore a James Bond movie? It has music in it. What's the point of that? It's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of money, and so on. But I never saw it that way. Ever since I was since I was a child, I always loved movies and soundtracks, and I loved that often quoted escapism. To me, it was always, fleeing into a different world where you could live those adventures, and that's why I can easily watch stuff like Star Wars, James Bond, and stuff like that over and over again, just because I get sucked into that world. I become part of that world, and it just feels great. It's just an amazing feeling. You get away from everyday life, and I couldn't basically live without music. That's also why I don't like going on holidays for a long time, because after 2 or 3 days, when I can play something or compose something, I start to get itchy. I need to do something. It's like breathing to me. And that's basically also the reason why I got into making music, and why I love it so much, and why I spend so much time in rescoring, basically, because it allows me. Now imagine if you're like me, if you love movies and if you love soundtracks, and if you can dive into those worlds just by watching the movies. Imagine how it is to be part of those worlds, not officially, not as a part of the official franchise or the official companies, but if you for yourself can become part of that world. I saw a few documentaries in the last days where they portrayed people who, it's hardcore fans basically, Star Wars and James Bond fans who pay a lot of money to visit sets, to rebuild props, who spend a lifetime and an incredible amount of money in recreating their favorite things, their favorite worlds. And I think those people sometimes are also looked upon as being kind of, you know. But every time I was done watching those videos, I thought I can understand, I can relate to those people because I kind of do the same. I mean, you become part of those worlds, and that's why I started. I mean, when I did the first rescoring projects, James Bond rescoring project, I had all the kind of hatred coming towards me. You know, people were saying like stuff, those are vanity projects and they're completely unnecessary. And even people even said, I think I do a better job than the original composers, which is, you know, I mean, I may look stupid, but I'm not that stupid, you know. And that's what I never got, because to me it never was about that. When I do rescore or when I do music something, I want to be part of that world. And another thing is, I want to kind of, you know, I get so much joy and energy from listening to soundtracks and watching movies. What I want to do with my very simple and humble means, I want people to experience the same, and I hope to you know, to move people, or people to, if it's just a few minutes, they can let go and enjoy themselves and listen to that stuff and just take the music for what it is. It's nothing vanity. It has nothing to do with me wanting to replace amazing stuff by a composer. And you'll love all the James Bond composers, with the exception of the last soundtracks. I'm sorry to go, I don't want to go there, but it just, you know, Thomas Newman James Bond soundtracks, which is not my cup of tea. But anyway, I love, of course, being a Star Wars fan, I love John Williams, and that's the last project I've announced, is the Star Wars Jedi Outcast game rescore that mainly used music from the movies. And, you know, when I do these things, it's really not about me thinking I can do a better job. It's just I want to be part of that world. I want to kind of experience that myself. Another thing is, I saw a video of that's gone viral now of a homeless man in front of a store who plays the guitar, and, you know, who kind of contemplates and talks about society and how people act these days. I don't want to get into all of that, but he was also referring to music because he was playing the guitar in front of the store, and he said the most amazing things that I feel the same. You know, if there's just, this is what I always say, if there's just one person watching a video of mine or listening to a piece of music I did, and he enjoys it, and he even remotely gets the joy out of music that I get when I listen to other people's music, then the day's done. And so if you just look at the figures, I mean, if I would be an analyst or something, or a banker or anything, somebody who analyzes the numbers, I mean, this is batshit insane. I mean, the amount of hours, the amount of money that I, you know, invest in the studio and all this stuff. And when I look at the figures of the album sales, and much less the streams, they're terrible. I mean, you know, just when you talk about money, it's insane. I mean, this is really a bad joke if you look at the numbers, but it doesn't count. To me, it doesn't count. Because I enjoy doing the music, I enjoy doing those soundtracks, I enjoy doing my own soundtracks. And there's a few people who seem to enjoy it as well when I look at my YouTube channel. And I mean, I read all the comments and I try to respond to all the comments. And sometimes I read very nice comments, you know, people saying stuff like, you should have many more views and stuff like that. And I say, well, it would be nice, yes. But I love that small community that has built up here on my YouTube channel. I really, really love that, because there's a good bunch of very nice people. And like I said in the beginning, I mean, there's a lot of hatred on the internet. And I have been very blessed on this channel because I hardly get any hatred or those really bad comments and stuff, just people trying to make you down. We're not talking constructive criticism here. We're just talking people bashing you for just going out there and presenting yourself and presenting the stuff you do. It's that what I'm talking about. But in that regard, I was very blessed in the last couple of years, because I got a lot of love, and I really enjoy every comment and every like, and of course I monitor it. So those are my thoughts, and just the last couple of years, they have been building up. You know, it has always built up itself. And the great John Williams himself once said in an interview, when he was asked for advice for young people, he said, you know, don't try to cripple yourself with trying to do the next big blockbuster movie. Just do it step by step. Enjoy every step that comes the way. And there was about a year when I was, I think, 22, 23, where I was really obsessed with the thought. Now I want to go professional. You know, I want to do this. I want to be part of the big projects. And I was really completely losing my mind. I mean, my friends were telling me, "Hey, you have gone insane." And there's a difference between working hard and keeping at the table and keep working and keep doing things and wanting to achieve something. But you know, you got to differentiate, I think, because I was really insane that year when I came to realize that, well, the stuff I do are mostly smaller projects. They're not the big blockbuster. They're not AAA games and stuff like that. But they're very fine projects. I mean, when I look back at those years and all the fine people that I met through projects, and I mean, it is ironic that people said the Goldeneye rescore was completely unnecessary. Many people I met through that project, the collaboration with Chris Stone that I often work together with, and other people, and Benjamin Lind, we did Bond for Life together, which was one of the most amazing experiences of my young life. It all came because of the so-called unnecessary Bonds projects, and you know, it keeps growing, and I'm very happy the way it is going. And of course, I can say these things because I'm in a quite comfortable spot. You know, I got a day job at the radio station, a job that I absolutely love to do. At points it is very exhausting, so I get home and can't do anything, and then sometimes it's a slow progression. But still, it pays the bills. I love to do it, and I can do this stuff here as well. So it's the perfect kind of arrangement, and I'm very, very thankful for that, and I'm very thankful for every single supportive comment and like and all the nice conversations that I had in the last couple of years, and the many people who support what I do and what I did, you know. And so those are kind of the thoughts that I just wanted to share with you, because like I said, the 10th album is a very special thing for me. It's going to be the 80s EP, so it's 5 songs. It's going to be released this week. Really looking forward to that. Also going to present it on a local radio station, and of course I'm going to release an extensive preview here, and then I got the Star Wars project that I'm working on right now, and I hope that you will stay around a little bit longer and just enjoy a little bit, and you know, stay part of this thing that I tried to build up, and I still try to build up. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this wasn't too boring for you, and the next video is going to be strictly music again. So have a good time. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for being part of my journey, and hopefully many more great projects to come and many more amazing moments to share.